What would a typical application look like? Well, in the case of a networking application, we have, your switch, which is any kind of network switch, Cisco, Netgear, Luxor, you name it. And for the most part, there's going to be two or four ports on the end that look like RJ45 ports, but they're not. They're those goofy looking ports that you've never really paid much attention to, but well, now you need to. They take what's called an SFP module, a small format pluggable transceiver that converts electrons from the switch into photons to transmit down the fiber. All right. So it converts electricity to light. So you've had these SFP modules that plug into those ports, and you choose your SFP module, depending upon your application. Is it going to be long distance? Is it going to be short distance? Do you need 1 gig, 10 gig, 40 gig? And all of those specifications are dictated to by the SFP module itself. Okay. Generally speaking, these guys take 2 fibers, which is part of the reason we sell more duplex fiber than anything else. And so you come out of the switch with the SFP into the fiber, and then you come out of the fiber back into another SFP, which converts the light back into electrons into something like a media converter or another switch. And then from there, you've got your RJ45 port to your camera or whatnot. Okay, so a very, very simple application. You need to extend, 1 or 2 ports from your main network down a long distance to a security gate or such like. You've now got the ability to do that with latency-free infrastructure. There's no issue with timing here through fiber optic. The next one is a typical example of what we see for HDMI over fiber. So we come out with our source device, and again we can start talking about HDMI 2.1, which is high bandwidth. We come out with our HDMI cable into what they call a fiber extender. It's actually not a balun. A balun is a misuse of a term there. It goes into a fiber transmitter, and that transmitter converts the HDMI to fiber. All right, converts it to fiber, sends it down the fiber optic cable. I know of transmitters and receivers that can actually send HDMI over 2-3 kilometers. All right, so you can send HDMI now over significant distance over fiber optic. At the other end, you have a receiving device that converts it back into HDMI, and obviously the HDMI cable goes into the display. So very, very simple application of video extension over a long distance. What we are beginning to see also is some source devices have, and display devices, mainly projectors, have direct fiber ports on them as well. So there are matrix switches out there now, HDMI matrix switches, that are card-based, they're modular-based, and they have direct fiber ports on them. So you can come straight out of the back of the matrix into a fiber optic cable, and then from that into a receiving device of some sort, and then converts it back to HDMI into the display. For anybody out there that's doing higher end barcode type applications, some of the barcode projectors now have direct fiber ports on them. Okay, so it gets rid of all of the interconnecting points between it. It's direct fiber to fiber. So that's some of the things we see being used for fiber, with fiber.